up? It's your girl Q. Welcome to Creative Emotions Podcast, where you're going to get this encouragement, this motivation, and these good vibes, okay? Period. Listen, I'm so glad you guys came to join me today. My name is Vaquita Taylor. Some know me as Q. I'm not sure how you know me, but you know me if you're watching. I just thank you guys for watching. I want to give a shout out to the new WJOD. Give a shout out to them. Podcastic, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I want to give a shout out to all of the social media platforms and say, what up, though? Even those looking Instagram live, I see y'all. This is an interactive live. Oh, that was loud. Great. So give me a minute while I share this. Share. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that picture looking real good, too.
Don't it? Hey. Tune in. Give a couple people a couple minutes to tune in. All right, so you guys can reach me on thecreativeemotions.com. I have t-shirts that say I speak life, because that's what I do. I speak life. I speak positivity, bring the momentum, bring in those that are doing good in our community, which is always good vibes, okay? You can reach me at creativeemotions3@gmail.com if you want to just send me a message. Q Rising on Instagram, Creative Emotions 4, Vaquita Taylor on YouTube. I need you guys to go and subscribe. I am a poet. I speak life in my poetry. I am also up for hire. If you guys have any events that you want to bring that special little touch, that personal touch, I am a poet for hire. So I just want you guys to know that. And on my upcoming shows, I will be doing some poetry live, okay? So my last show, you guys missed me. Sorry you missed me. I had a trip delay in Jamaica. I told you guys before about my solo trip to Jamaica, and it was awesome and amazing. Can you see the bronzing? Can you see this brow? Listen, I encourage everyone to take that time to spend that time with yourself. Just don't tell nobody that you're going alone. I went on a resort, so that's just one thing that I didn't tell everybody. Like, yeah, I'm here alone, because human trafficking is real. So you guys want to be careful. But I encourage everyone, take that trip. Go. Do it. Don't wait. Don't wait. What you waiting for? Because time is not waiting on us. So I just want to encourage you to do that. I had an amazing time. I met some amazing people. I was able to network with singles, couples, groups. It was just an amazing time. So if you're a people person, you will have a good time. Now, on topic. So today, I just want to know, have you ever, when you were growing up, say, you know what, when I grow up, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this. When you think about the people that stand at the corner and help the kids across. I don't know if you ever want to do that, but that's a thing, Put the little guard on. You don't have to be old to do that, but you know what I'm saying. Have you ever wanted to be a mentor for the young men, or work with them with basketball, or volunteer your time? Just think about those things when you were younger. Have you ever thought about going back to those things that you said, to be a help, just to help the community, help the younger generation? They need us. If you haven't noticed, Jesus, they need us. They need our wisdom. They need our knowledge. They need to know that we care. I know a lot of people don't like to be bothered, right? So they be like, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Them not my children, or whatever. So I get it, because people are very disrespectful. A lot of people are not taking the time out to deal with their children. But have you ever just thought about that? What do you want to go back and do? What is it that you want to do for your community? Today, we have an awesome man, a man that is in his community. He's active. He He is the bike night man. Okay, Wednesday night, all my bikers, what's up? Yes, I ride a motorcycle. No, I'm not in a club. I'm not in a group, but I absolutely love the community. He helps with that community, bringing them together, having a bike night at his establishment, his business. He has a tow truck, so you guys will know about that. And the main reason why he's here today is because he's running for your police commissioner. Listen, these are our people. He is running for our police commissioner, Lavish T. Williams. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. How do you feel about this adventure that you up against?
I feel great about it. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm learning new stuff every day, meeting new people every day.
Mm-hmm. So today I labeled this Policing the Police, because that is something that you are saying that you're going to do, right?
Yeah, so many words. Absolutely. Policing the police, holding the police accountable, making sure they're doing their job, the job that's described with the oath that they've taken.
Yeah, that's important. And since we come from a really, this is a really sensitive subject when it comes to the police and the community and different things that's been going on. How do you feel about the tension that's happening when it comes to the police and their role in the community? How do you feel about that? Are you confident in knowing that you will make that difference or change the climate that we're in?
Yeah, I'm real confident in knowing I want to change the climate in hopes of a better community, safer community, more police officers out here. I wish more police officers lived in my neighborhood, lived in the community, versus officers that are not from Detroit. It's kind of hard for people to have the same pride about protecting the city that they're not from.
Wow.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's huge. And that would be my opinion as well.
You know.
I think that's with anything, even with the businesses. Everybody have businesses and come from outside and they, gain from our communities. But you are here from Detroit, right?
Right. Born and raised.
That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. When you talk about safer neighborhoods, how does that look?
I mean, safer neighborhoods kind of go back to my childhood. Everybody in the neighborhood pretty much knew everybody and everything in the neighborhood. It didn't matter if you got in trouble, if something happened with the neighbor down the street, the community knew about it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a nosy type of thing. It was just more people were involved with everything that was going on.
Yeah.
It was easy for the neighbor down the street to talk to your child, guide your child. Nowadays, you can't even really say too much to somebody's child without it being some type of argument, altercation. Don't tell my child this.
Yeah, don't talk to my kid. Who are you?
Right.
And that is something that definitely needs to change, because it takes a village out here. Listen, it takes a village. When you think about budget approvals, how does that affect the community?
We pay taxes, right? So, I mean, we want to know where our tax dollars are going and how they're spent. And
Definitely.
are the tax dollars being spent in a great way? Is it useful spending, or is it a waste of spending the dollars?
Okay, so that information will be open and transparent.
Correct.
To the community.
Yeah, as it should be.
And that's what you're offering. That's amazing to me. Listen.
I mean, and I'm sure it goes more in depth. I'm not in that position yet to really know how in depth it is, but we need to know where the dollars are going and what the money is being spent on.
That's true. I totally agree.
So many times we talk about public safety and the money is being spent on public safety, but where's the safety coming from? With all the money being spent, are the streets even safer? So.
Do you feel like lately that since the virus is out, that people have been more mindful, police have been more mindful? Have you seen more community with the police?
I can't say that I have.
Okay.
I would say it's pretty much about the same, but it depends on what side you're looking at it from. Are you looking at it from a media side, or are you looking at it from a close and personal side?
Up close and personal. So you are involved in the community. You do different things, right? You had the George Floyd memorial at your establishment.
Yeah, it was a prayer protest. Just praying for the city.
Yeah.
It was a lot of tension going on, and a lot of people coming in trying to protest and tear up the city, and it was just like a peace movement.
Okay.
To relax people's tensions and feelings.
Right. And you had a lot of people there. I've seen a lot of prominent people or people that are trying to do things in the community there. So seeing that you have that reach, was the police engaged in that? Just kind of moving around, or did they get engaged?
They came to make sure everything went as smooth as it should have.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have too many problems with them. I mean, they pretty much work hand in hand with me because I like peaceful events.
Yeah, yeah.
And anything that I throw, I make it where you can bring your children out.
That's good. That's a definite. Back then, it was called the Village. It's still called the Village. Still
it's
called
just
the
what
Village.
what part of the village? That's the thing. What part
like
of the
where
village?
it's coming from. Can you give us that number, Miles, so people can call in? 855. It's 313-855. 5737. You guys can call that number. If you have any questions for Lavish, you can call that number and you can ask those questions. So I'm talking about police reform. Like a lot of people don't. They hear these things, they hear them being thrown out in the media, but I don't know if a lot of people know what it means. So police reform, it aims to transform the values, culture, policies and practices of police organizations so that police can perform their duties with respect for democratic values, human rights, and the rule of law. And so where do you play in that police reform?
Where I play, I mean, holding them to just what you said. The police reform is making sure that they're doing, again, the job that they took the oath to do. Holding them accountable for doing their job. Too many times the police think they're above the badge.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that they're within the badge.
Wow.
Not taking advantage of people because of the position that they hold in power. How many times, I'm a police officer, do what I say.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of police officers have this intimidating demeanor, correct. And
pride
a
and
lot
ego,
of people don't realize that the police work for the citizens. But so many citizens are actually scared of the police for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Whatever reason they might have, they get intimidated. And there's no need to be intimidated by the police. They work for us.
Right. As long as you following the law. Okay? We don't need them.
Yeah, I mean, but again, following the law, you still got police.
People give you my information for what? Because you was speeding and you just passed the light and the stop sign. So
right. I mean, it goes hand. It definitely goes hand in hand. It definitely goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah, for sure.
We have to work together.
We got to work together. That means doing our part, making sure we're abiding by the laws and knowing what position they're in. They work for us, but we're also working to keep our community safer.
Correct.
And that's that working together. I appreciate that. That's what's up. Protection for life. What does that mean?
Protecting the life. Just that, protecting life to make sure no one's being killed. We don't need another George Floyd, Breonna Taylor type of situation where life was lost.
Yeah.
We need to be able to protect life. It's funny how in most of these urban cities, life is always taken.
Yeah.
But then when you watch the media, you can hear about someone with these assault weapons of a different race surrendering unharmed.
Yeah.
So the protection of life is to make sure that everybody has the same fair chance.
Yeah.
When it comes to law enforcement, it has to be other ways to for the police to properly do their job without taking the life of an individual.
I agree. Jesus, please. We want to live.
Right. We want to live, and we see it so often on social media and on the news. So protection of life is just that, man. What can we do? How can the police do their job and protect the individuals, the residents, even the bad guys? Mm-hmm. You know, they're guilty.
They have rights too.
Yeah, they have rights, absolutely. You know, but they already put a guilt on them before even arresting them, and it sometimes results into death.
That's true, unfortunately. So you plan to be effective and efficient with your policing services. What would you say, looking into the camera so they can see you, what would you say to those voters who don't think that this is a part of the voting process? Like, how could this affect them if they get the wrong person in place?
I mean, if they get the wrong person in place, the wrong person won't be the voice to protect them, for one. They won't speak up for them. Mm-hmm. So you need an individual that's going to be out there that's going to speak up for the people. That's one. Also, you need someone that's going to actually be there with the people. So many different times you have things going on in the community that no one is aware of. Mm-hmm. And in order to be aware of what's going on, you have to be in the community.
Okay, so we have a caller. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Who am I speaking with?
This is Monty.
Hi, Monty. How are you? You have a question for Lavish Williams?
Yes. I wanted to know in your first 30 days, once you plan to take office in the commissioner's office, what are some of your plans that you would like to introduce as far as new ideas and changes to the second part is, how do you feel about the former police chief, Craig, on his job as police chief, and now that he's running for governor of Michigan, you plan on endorsing him in his new efforts as running for governor?
Okay, well, my first few days, months in the office, I plan on seeing what most of the problems are. I want to talk to the citizens in the district to see what their concerns and issues and problems are. I want to hear what they have issues with, not so much me. I want to hear the problems that's already existing within that district that I plan to work for and provide my services to, and then take it from there. I want to just see the layout of what has not been done and where it's been lacking at. That's where I want to start off. I want to fix or attempt to fix the problems that's already there. So when you ask my plans for the first few days, that's my first. Those are the plans for my first few days. For a month or two, is to find out what problems already exist, and I want to go through complaints. I want to see what a lot of the complaints are, what the department that a lot of people in my district or within the city have a lot of issues with. Those are my goals. As far as Chief Craig, I feel on a personal level, him being the chief, when he was the chief, he did his job. He did the job that he was there to do. Outside of that, his political run, I really don't have a opinion on it one way or the other, because that's just him and what he chooses to do. And I'm a Democrat, so I want to stay Democratic.
So that leads you to another question. So with the police commission, and I've been to several of their meetings, it's usually a nonpartisan position. So you have a little bit of everybody that helps makes up that board. But I think a lot of people don't understand most of the issues with police departments usually is protected by the union. So probably the biggest beast you have to go up against is the police unions, because that's what normally protects a lot of bad cops, so on and so forth.
You're absolutely right. That is a big thing right there. You're right. And I think I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't understand that too. On the flip side of things, we can voice our opinions and we can take votes and we can say only so much, but then you have those unions that do come in. And I got a question, and it's not to you, but it's just a question in general. how do we get around that? How do we get the unions to see our point of view when the unions are there to protect the officers, even when they know the officers are wrong? And that's a big question that I have. I don't know who I can really ask that to, but it's a question. I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people don't understand that we can voice our opinions and speak on what we want. We can take votes and we can do this, but then you have those unions that protect the police officers. So we got to ask ourselves, how can we still hold the officers accountable, and how far can we take it to before the unions come in and protect these officers that we know shouldn't be on the force?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good question.
Well, good luck in your that plans to see what the community want as far as getting police back in the communities and creating those residency laws like you have in other major cities like Chicago. If you don't live in that area or within a radius, they don't hire you. And I think that right there will eliminate a lot of the problems, and will reintroduce what we had growing up in Detroit, which was the real. Got to say, hey, that person's a cop, and
you're breaking up
so on
a
and
little
so
bit.
forth. So good luck.
Thanks. I appreciate that. And I think also the residence thing, it just brings it brings more respect. It brings a lot more respect to the community on the officers' end.
Exactly. All right. Have a good one.
All
That's
right.
good.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Monty. Wow. That was a good question.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't even know that. He
Yeah.
loaded you up, didn't he?
Yeah. No, that was because we fight so much, but then you have people that's higher.
Oh,
And then
so it's
they
only so much you can do, really.
Yeah, it's just like having a lawyer. Yeah, we know this cop screwed up, but we're gonna fight for him. And then it's like you might have to go over the top. This cop, over the top.
Okay.
Because
getting to different levels of.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that was a good question. You guys can call in, and I didn't write the number down. 313
855
855
5737.
5737. If you have any questions for Lavish, the topic today is policing the police. This is what he plans to do. This is what needs to happen. Policing the police. It's been a lot, and I think the camera phones have been the best thing smoking.
Yeah. It goes back to the NWA days. It goes back to something Easy said when he talked about, the cameras showing what's going on way back then, because before you can say the officers did this is no proof.
Exactly.
And then fast forward time, you got all this technology. And I'm for the body cameras.
Good.
I'm for the body cameras. I want to see what really transpired.
As you should be.
And the citizens want to see what really transpired. Not give or take. You got a bad guy that does something bad. Okay, we see it. It's really no explanation for that. The officer probably did his job. More than likely did his job properly. But when the officer does not do his job properly and it's a complaint being filed, we need to see what really happened. Especially when it comes to, physical altercations.
Absolutely. It's been a lot going on downtown. I see, like on the news, Greektown, all these fights, and it's a lot of police presence. But, what are they down here to do?
I don't know, because more police officers do not always make the streets safer.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, you can, if you have 100 police officers standing on this corner in this area, what about the other corner in that area? Who's over there patrolling and protecting? So when people see more police officers in one area, my thought is, well, what about the other areas?
That's true.
Where are the police at?
Who delegates that?
I guess the chief's office, I guess the mayor's office, the sergeant or commander at the station or precinct who gives out the details. That's my assumption.
Well, yeah, it's been a lot going on, and our communities with the police, and we have someone that has our best interest from, you know, what he's telling us. I'm also going to give you another opportunity, because I know we had a caller, but I still want to give you the opportunity to give people the reason why their vote is going to count for you. And again, you know, a lot of people think voting is just the president. It's our people, but sometimes that's how it is. And so we have a caller real quick. Hello, caller.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing awesome and amazing. Who am I speaking to?
This is Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
How are you? Do you have a question for Lavish?
I do have a question and just a couple of points I wanted to make.
Okay.
So my main thing is, even when you have bad cops, as we call them, and they have a partner who knows that they're not good cops and that they go out here and they're corrupt.
Okay.
Everybody is down on people in the neighborhood about not snitching, but cops have an honor code where they won't snitch on their own partner. You know, at what point does he plan on holding them accountable? That's one aspect. Another thing is, with all of the tension and thing that's going on, I still see multiple, whether it's just two white cops, be it female, male, but why not have at least a black person or a black cop in that car when they're in the inner city? That's another concern.
Okay.
No, that's a good
And
question.
the last thing is, my son, who's an amazing young man, he's 24, and I allowed him to get his license, like to get a gun. I refuse to let him turn it in because I know when they run you, it says that you have a gun or that you have a gun registered to you.
Yeah.
You know, it should be something that parents who have great children should be able to feel safe and want their children to be safe.
Wow. Yeah.
So I hope there is something that can come forth from him. I know Lavish is a great young man, and that's what we need, young innovation. So if I was in the district, I'd be voting, but I wish him well. So that was all I had to say.
That's good. So you want to answer those questions? And those are great questions. Thank you, Tanya. Those are great questions. He's going to answer them.
Yeah, I'm going to answer them. I'm going to remember them. They might be all over the place, but I often ask myself, too, how come you have partners and both of them are white in the black community? And I guess every officer can't work with another officer, but also I feel that seeing that it's a majority African-American community, that we should have more African-American officers on the street. And seeing that we don't have a large number of African-American officers or applicants applying for these jobs, that's a problem, because we have more Caucasian people that's coming into the city, getting the training from the Detroit Police Department and gaining these jobs. I try to tell young people out here that's always so against the police and or sit up here and talk about what the police ain't doing, how they're mistreating people. I try to tell the ones that's eligible to become a police officer, you should go out here and become a police officer so that you can patrol and protect your own community.
Yeah. That's good.
You could be a solution to the problem that you see, since you're living in the community and you see the problems.
Yeah.
Be a solution to it. It's not adding to it or talking about a problem that you know you can actually address and help out there.
Yeah.
And I think that if more African Americans who are qualified for these jobs and jobs such as a Detroit police officer, I think they should go for it, because they would be the ones patrolling, and they would know, they would be transparent to the community that they grew up in, because they know the behavior, they know how to deal with the people in their yard versus somebody else that don't know how to deal with us coming into the city trying to deal with us in they're scared themselves.
Hostile and volatile ways. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they're aggressive to us. It was another question that she had asked. I think I answered.
She's still on.
What was the very first question that you had asked?
I think the first thing I asked was about the cops working, not having a black cop and a white cop working together.
Okay.
So you did answer that, and I know I mentioned about my fear, like of my son actually obtaining his CPL.
Yeah.
Because I know that they'll run his license, and it'll say that he has a gun, and it seems to freak cops out just knowing someone has a gun.
Yeah.
Being more cautious coming up to the car.
Traffic citation. Yeah.
I think that's more of a state issue as far as how they run the names, but then again, I can relate and agree with you, because I've had many different friends who they have CPL license and they get pulled over. It depends on the officer. Some of them treat them like, oh my gosh, you got a gun, step out the car, where's your weapon? Do you have a weapon on you? Because it comes up when you do get pulled over. And then you have some officers, they're just pretty much relaxed. Hey, do you got a gun on the car? And see your reaction. I think it's a safety issue, though, just so they'll know that they're walking up to a person that possibly might have a gun, just as a safety concern.
So is it a suggestion? Like, is it any way maybe that can go on a ballot or something? Like, some type of way she's asking, like, is it something to do about that, or that's just the safety for the police officers? That's really nothing that you can personally do as going forward Detroit police commissioner. Yeah,
that's not nothing that I believe that I can do. I think it's more of a safety issue, but this is just my assumption. And then that'll probably be a state or federal type of thing, because it just forewarns, be cautious. I mean, because you never know a person's mental state as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget about that when it comes down to police, and on both sides. Like,
everybody's not bad, but it is some that are angry, and they taking it out on whoever coming for them.
So you can get a good guy who just had a bad day, and if an officer is pulling you over, they do know, hey, you might not be a threat, but then again, depending on the day, you could be a threat, because you got a lot of guys out here at a drop of a hat. They leave out the house, find out that the wife cheating on them, want to get a divorce, passion of love type of crime, and the police pull them over at the wrong time. And,
man.
So I just really think that it's more so a safety issue, just letting them know that you're walking up to someone that has a weapon versus, being caught in the blind.
Yeah, that's good.
No, and I'm not saying that it should go away per se. It's just my fear as a parent.
Yeah.
Even though he's a young adult in college. Because he's a black man, he has a beard, sometimes he'll have his hair long, he can look a little rough.
Yeah, it's that stereotype.
But he's an amazing young man.
Yeah.
It's horrible, so if he's not home by 12, I'm blowing his phone up. He's gone.
Wow.
But, it's just a fear that I have, like, where are you? You didn't be home in 20 minutes. Yeah, exactly. And one thing you said earlier. You're right.
But it sounds like you're doing
they
good.
Can't work. I'm doing my best. He's my youngest son, and all three of my sons are amazing. And the oldest two graduated, and they had to leave Detroit immediately.
Oh, wow.
I just could not see them being here.
Wow.
But you said something earlier about the two white cops. You said they can't work with another officer. What were you meaning about that?
Well, what I mean by that is you might have officers. Everyone is not compatible. And it's not necessarily a race thing. I'm just using that as a possibility of why they're not together. You might have two white officers that just seem to work better than them working with a black officer. Then again, you might have black officers that don't even want to work with another black officer. How they pair people up, I can't say. But again, I do feel like it would probably ease a lot of tension if it was a black officer present, but then it goes back to the amount of officers that we have on the force.
Yeah,
if we got a shortage of black officers, it's really going to be hard to team them up with a lot of white officers when a lot of white officers from different places are coming into the city seeking these jobs.
Because they are open and available. Nobody wants to be an officer. If you ask anybody, would you be a police officer? Because of what's going on in our community, I have asked people, and they like, no. Why would I? They wouldn't talk about the pay. They wouldn't talk about, getting home safe to their families and things of that nature. And that's why he's saying, if you have that problem and you're willing and able and capable, fill out for those positions. What's wrong?
Right.
Fill out for those positions.
Be a part of the community.
Be a part of the solution and not the problem, and not the complaining and the negativity all the time. We need that. Right. So I thank you so much, Tanya, we thank you so much for your call.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a real good observation just to know those positions are available.
Yeah, they're available. I mean, you got police, they're recruiting every day.
Wow.
Every day.
I just seen one of my friends. She became a police officer. Shout out to Keisha. She became a police officer. Shout out to you, girl. That's what's up. I see she had her family and her friends around. Is that a bad thing to be a police officer? You can make a difference.
No, you really
can do
can,
something different.
You know, everybody view the police different. They got their own views of the police.
And when you take off the uniform, you are a person. Now, the egos and the pride that the individuals have, nobody can do anything about that. When you put on the badge, sometimes it may just inflate. But we gotta realize people are human. Like, you know,
yeah, they are human.
At the end of the day, tell me, when you get nice and clean and shaved up and put a suit on, you don't walk different.
No, you walk different.
You walk different.
We
You
walk a
talk
lot different. We
different.
feel good and everything. But I mean, even you know, as the role of police officer, you still have a certain level of professionalism that you should be holding.
For sure.
And officers, when they put on that badge and they come to work, they should be there to service the community, work for the people. Anything on their personal, and I know a lot of people, they have a lot of personal issues.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But if certain officers check themselves, and sometimes they don't even know that they have this issue, or they don't even know that the problem is really as big as it really is.
It's sitting right here. They don't even know it.
Right. Maybe they should say, "Hey, Sarge, I don't think I'm good to go out on the streets today," because when they go out on the streets,
mental health.
Right, exactly.
Talk about
Absolutely.
Let's talk about this mental health with these police officers. They gotta see so much.
Yeah, they see so much. They go through so much. I mean, just look at it. I mean, you take a regular individual. They got to hear how much they hate the police and to the police. So it affects them mentally. They got to go out here, see killings. They get to see stuff that we don't see. We only see some of the things on the news.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a lot of bodies that they might see, a lot of infants you know, that's dead. So the way that it affects everybody's mental, they take it a different. Exactly. You know, they deal with it differently. I
don't see how it can't be. But how would crime be cut? Like I asked you before, with you in the position, how is that possible? I know that's not possible for one man, but how do you plan to implement this movement of crime being cut?
I mean, we gotta first find out what the problem is to know where we're gonna start working. But it's easy as jobs. You know, I don't want to put everything out on finding more jobs out here, because it's a lot of jobs that's available. People are just not willing to work. Right. It's a lot. It's jobs that when I was growing up, you had to really have somebody really fight to get you in, and now it's so easy to get a job. As far as curbing the crime, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's huge.
I think people need to really learn the value of their lives.
Yeah.
So many people do so much and don't understand the consequences that comes with the bad doing. And I think talking and educating some of the, and I won't say just the youth, because it's people of all ages. I think communicating with these people and letting them know the severity of these behaviors and crimes play a big part. And the ones that care, the small number that care, they will do something about it. But then you have the rest of the people that feel like, you know, they got it figured out, and can't nobody tell me anything.
Wow. That is the truth. So while we're winding down our last 15 minutes, yes, Charles, vote for Lavish T. Williams. Okay?
Vote for Lavish. I need as many votes as possible.
And he said, vote for Lavish T. Williams. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, but we need younger people out there, you know, on the lines that's willing. That's why myself, I'm out here running for this position. I'm out here campaigning to get out here. We need fighters. We need people that's going to take the risks, take the chances to go out here. Because the people that we have in office now, they're getting older. And if we don't have anybody to follow behind them.
Take that baton.
Right. Yeah. If we don't have anybody to follow behind, you know, we're going to be lost.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that's not educating themselves. I find so many different individuals that do not know what the police commissioner's job is.
Yeah.
They never heard of a police commissioner. They think that the police commissioner is the top cop. So I'm constantly educating
Wow.
different people every day on the job description of a police commissioner and letting them know that it's simply civilian oversight, policing the police, making sure that they're doing their job.
Wow. Did that answer your question? If you have any more questions while we are winding down, last 10 minutes. Listen.
I have a question.
Okay.
I'll be very honest with you. So, you very correct. Most people don't even know the status of different titles,
Right.
such as the police commissioner. And you can it's more than one police commissioner, correct?
Yeah, it's 7 elected commissioners, 1 for each district, and 4 appointed by the mayor.
See? So
Nah,
with
I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of things
Yeah.
people don't know about city government, right? And I think it's very important that we, this year coming up, I will be putting out close to 15 to 20,000 things on which each position holds. Like city, people don't even know what a Wayne County commissioner is.
Right.
Wow.
They don't know.
Yeah, we need to be more knowledgeable,
They don't
definitely.
even know the duties of a mayor. I guarantee you very intelligent. You very intelligent. If you get the 10 most important, the 10 people who you think is the most intelligent, I guarantee you 70 to 80% of them will fail at knowing what the duties of a mayor
Of a
is.
mayor, wow.
Or city council and or state representative.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff people don't know.
Yeah, no, this is real talk.
And they vote without thinking. If it's blue, that's what I do. That's what somebody told me. If it's blue, that's what I do.
If it's blue, that's what is blue?
Yeah.
Democrat. Democrat.
Oh, all Democratic Party, not even knowing
Yeah, not even knowing
what they plan to do.
And that is I think that's the bad part in our community.
Yeah.
That's where we lose at.
Right.
We don't
It is.
educate ourselves.
And I mean,
true.
it's so simple. Everybody has a cell phone, and I mean, everybody uses Google for some of the
Google.
most stupidest, craziest things.
Yeah.
You talking about
But they
crazy
won't-
challenges.
Exactly.
Don't bring up the
But they
crazy.
won't educate themselves, and it's so easy. All the different people that ask me, "Oh, Lavish, you trying to become the police? Oh,
Wow.
Lavish, you trying to take James Craig's spot?"
Wow.
Listen, if you just pull out your
Just
phone
pull it out.
and Google, what is a police commissioner?
Yeah.
What does the Detroit police commissioner do? It's so simple.
It is.
So Lavish, I like to challenge you right now for you to make everybody a challenge. How about you do a city government challenge? You know what I mean? And be honest. Being honest with you, because people, I think the only way you can call them out is to call them out.
That's it.
That is true.
That's it.
You can't do it no other way.
And
know?
you see the one young man who did the rap to talk about the what is it, legislation? He was talking about all type of stuff. He used the rap.
I think that guy was from Ohio.
Yeah,
I
so
think that guy was Ohio.
But people still didn't get it.
you don't think so?
No,
You think it
because-
was just like a
Here's the thing about the bottom line. Most people don't know. Like everybody here, y'all had Miracle Whip, right? You had Miracle Whip,
Right.
So this is what I always say. I say if you use a mustard, right, you swipe that on your bread later. You use your Miracle Whip first, right?
To code everything.
To coat it, and then that way you don't have to put. It won't be mustard or the residue of other things inside of your Miracle Whip,
okay.
right?
All right.
People have to understand that's how life is. Some things you just got to understand. It's a particular order you have to go by.
Okay.
And city government come first.
Wow.
If you don't understand city government, you talking about presidential and Congress and other that's not gonna mean nothing.
Right.
If you
Because
don't
this is what's
Right.
affecting us like now.
And they don't
true.
understand, like when it
That
comes
is true.
when it comes time to vote, and it comes to voting, how important the primary elections are.
Almost that.
Let them know.
Yeah, the primary elections is just as important as the general election, because you have all these different people that's fighting to get in that position. See, when you don't vote for the primary,
They
you're
don't even
left
make
with
it.
just 2 people for the general, and you have no idea what the other candidates could have offered.
Wow.
So now you're stuck sitting here debating which one is going to be the best candidate for this position. When if you're in the primary, you can see. And then another thing about the price, I mean, there's so much stuff that I'm even still learning
for sure.
about splitting the votes, and it's amazing.
Okay.
It's like going all over. It's like social studies all over again, taking government class all over again.
And we probably need to sometimes. Look, go to those YouTube pages and look it up. You should make the challenge.
I mean, because you gotta really know. You gotta really know what's going on. I mean, I have people walk up to me and ask me when is the election, and I mean, we were taught in middle school when election day is.
Yeah, we even get that day off. I think that's all we want to know.
This is the first Tuesday every November.
Every November. Well, it depends if it's a federal election or a state election or city election. You know, you got the state and government. I mean, you got the state and federal election.
But I thought it was just the first Tuesday of every month.
Every November.
Every November.
The election year.
That's what I meant.
Because you got an election, I think it's technically an election every 2 years, but you got the presidential election every 4 years. Then you have some of the city elections that's every 2 to 4 years, which I think is more sort of 4 years, but they offset by 2 years.
And it's important. It's important things that we need to know. I mean, you know, this is going to affect, especially those, it don't matter where you stay. Do your research and vote. But we're talking about the city of Detroit. We are talking about Lavish T. Williams, and he is going for police commissioner. So he says, my mission as police commissioner of District 2 is to be committed to excellence by being the voice of the people and to be transparent between the citizens and the police department. In order to protect life and property, prevent crime, and reduce the fear of crime, I will make myself available as I listen to understand the issues and find solutions to solve them. I will provide service with understanding, respond with compassion, and perform with integrity. Okay. He needs some. He needs some. He needs some. That's what's up, right? That sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, from what I see and what I learned so far, I will be working for the people. And I think people forget that when they put these people in these seats and these positions, we work for you.
Wow.
You know,
so that's important to know.
We should be available for you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times it don't seem like that. It seems like when a person is campaigning, oh, they're everywhere, they're here. Then when they get in them seats,
you don't see him.
Like I don't see him. He didn't promise to do anything that he said he was going to do.
And so is that what you are promising to do? Let the people know.
Oh, I'm promising to do everything I say I'm going to do. Not only that, the things that I've been doing, I'm going to continue to do. And I've been working in the community and working for different things way before me campaigning. So it's just a stepping stone for me to continue to make a difference within the community, to protect the citizens from the bad police, to protect the citizens and let them know, hey, when your grandmother is calling and the police aren't coming quick enough, I need to figure out why the response time was so long. What was the reason?
Yeah.
You know, because you got people now, shootings, accidents, anything that can cause loss of life. We need fast response times.
Definitely.
So I want to argue with that. How can we make these response times faster? I mean, just a few months ago, it was a incident that happened in Southwest Detroit where they had called about a shooting and a fight inside of a restaurant, and the police didn't get there until the next day.
What?
And that's unacceptable.
Wow.
And it's documented that the police, that it was calls made to 911. Wow.
That's deep and that's heavy. So I encourage everyone, while we are winding down our last 5 minutes, I encourage everyone, do your research. Do your research on these positions. Do your research before the date of, because I can't lie, I've been guilty of Googling somebody while I'm in the booth, okay? I'm just saying, you got to be real.
But you got to keep in mind also on that, you don't know everybody that's running.
You don't. I see some signs up and down how to drive. Put your signs on how to drive, because everybody see them. I see yours on how to drive. But you don't know everybody that is running.
You don't, and they're not going to talk about too much. Like this position right now, the police commissioner position, is not one of those positions that's highly talked about because they're more focused on city council and the mayor.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
But they don't realize how important that this position is as well.
Because it's the voice of the people. You are putting the community first.
I'm putting the community first, and this is not a paid position either.
Wow.
Right. This is, you got to have a passion for this. Not at all. You got to really want to do this.
Wow.
You got to have a passion to really want to be a fighter when you know you're going to be investing a lot of time for free back to your neighborhood, back to your community, back to the people. It's not free.
Because everything you put out, it comes back. That's a natural
it's
law.
Definitely gonna
it's
come
a
back.
Spiritual law.
It's definitely going to come back.
And God going to take care of you. Your heart is right. He got you.
Right, absolutely.
So I want you guys to tell them how they can reach you. We got a couple more seconds, so tell them how they can reach you.
You can reach me on Instagram, Lavish T Williams. I got a Facebook page, Lavish T Williams. All social media outlets, you can reach me at Lavish T Williams. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be my handle. You can Google.
You got a TikTok?
I got a TikTok page. I do. It's Lavish T Williams, but I don't really have any cool stuff on there. I'm not that animated.
You ain't dancing?
Yeah, no, I'm not that animated. I'm a little stiff in that area.
Yeah, okay.
But you can reach me on all social media platforms at Lavish T Williams.
And what if someone wants to donate for your cause? So you do have something coming up, a fundraiser, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fundraising. I don't necessarily have a designated fundraiser, but I am trying to raise funds any way I can.
Okay.
And I mean, again, you can reach out to me on social media. You can inbox me. Like I say, my number is public. It's on my all my social media pages. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, it costs money to campaign.
That's true. That's true.
Every dollar. And then also I tell people too, because I can't count nobody's money. I can't count nobody's pocket.
Right.
And if they want to help me and they don't have the financial funds, if I can get a little bit of your time, you know, the time is very, very valuable to me because I need people to help walk the neighborhood streets with me. I need people to help put these brochures, these flyers, these information pamphlets up in the doors as I campaign and I talk to individuals so they can meet and greet me. So I need help like that. And also people that's living in my district, District 2. If you know who I am and you know me, it would be so helpful if you can introduce me to your neighbors so that I can introduce myself to them and they learn and see what I'm trying to do so that I can gain their vote.
That's good. That's good. I thank you so much for
not
coming.
A problem. No, thank you for having me.
Creative Emotions. Listen, this is where you're going to get motivation, you're going to get encouragement, and you're going to get these good vibes. And we are going to bring the community together, one person at a time, one entrepreneur at a time, one innovator at a time, one motivator, one encourager at a time. So I thank you guys, all of you guys, for watching. Support your man. Okay?
And let me add this. September 4th, we have a charity event that we're doing over at the 12th Precinct on 7 Mile and Wilbur. We're doing a back-to-school giveaway.
Okay.
So we're giving away school supplies, free haircuts over there for the kids. Bring your kids with clean hair.
Wash your kids' hair, please. Get
that's from
shampoo.
12 to 4.
The boys need their hair cut. They need their hair shampoo, too.
That's in District 2. At the 12th Precinct, 7 Mile and Wilbur.
12th Precinct.
Yep, in the parking lot from 12 to 4.
September what?
September 4th.
September 4th. Come get the book bags.
Yeah, come get the book bag, get some school supplies.
And meet some people.
Yes, absolutely.
You gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there.
Boom. There you go. You got some questions? You got more questions? Because we out of here. You got more questions? Meet them September 4th.
At the 12th Precinct.
Period. Okay? Thank you so much.